As is true in any election, candidates often call on the names of people not running to help support their campaign or to be villains, the enemy in their campaign. Let me take one name here, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. She appears in many Republicans' ads. In other words, just like Newt Gingrich was set up as the enemy by Democrats in previous elections a decade or two ago, now Nancy Pelosi is being set up as the enemy by a lot of Republicans as they're running for the House. What do our data show? Well, we just updated our overall favorables on Nancy Pelosi, and actually, it's not a very positive picture. Here's the overall number among all Americans. 29% of Americans a favorable opinion of Speaker Pelosi, but 56% have a unfavorable opinion. That's quite negative. And then if you zoom in on the people that count, that is the Republican voters, because that's after all who Republicans are aiming their commercials at for the most part, you can see her unfavorable number is way up there at 86%. No wonder they're mentioning her in the ads. Here's independents you're looking at right now, some of whom may be targets for Republican commercials, and there you can see that Pelosi's unfavorables are still pretty negative, up at 58%. These data underscore why, in fact, Speaker Pelosi may be the target of some of the ads being used for Republican candidates. Another question we recently asked here at Gallup had to do with the self-reported impact of politicians campaigning for a candidate. What about President Obama, who's certainly out there campaigning for Democrats? Well, our data show that among Democrats, 48% say that his showing up would make them more likely to vote for the candidate in question. So you can see there is some positive benefit from Obama showing up and campaigning for Democrats. What about former President Bill Clinton? A slightly even more positive impact. 53% of Democrats say Clinton, that is Bill Clinton, would be a positive for them in terms of voting for the Democratic candidate on whose behalf he was campaigning. Finally, what about Sarah Palin? She's out there campaigning for Republicans. Well, a more muted response from Republicans. If Sarah Palin is in their local area campaigning for a Republican candidate, she would make them more likely to vote for that Republican candidate. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup's editor-in-chief.